humanity, okay, as a whole, the body, okay, it's all operating the same when in good health, okay. Exterior, that's the physicality. That's what you see to be physical, okay. That is the physical part of the actual physical part of the body, because it's the whole body in one piece as you see it. Now the interior, that is going to be all spirituality. Just how you know God exists. Okay, because he has created an internal system which is called the interior. You ever get in a vehicle, what do they call the inside of the vehicle? Interior. What do you call the outside of the vehicle? When you're looking at the outside of a vehicle, you're looking at the exterior. Okay, so there's two different properties, and they're separated from each other. So when you get to the exterior, nobody can drive it on the exterior part of the vehicle, right? But you do understand when you step into the interior, you can drive the vehicle, right? Correct? You have a brake system for movement when you're moving up and down the roads. You got a brake system to slow this mobility down. Okay, this operating vehicle. And same concept when it goes to the human body. Okay, the exterior is physicality. It's what you see physically. And this is where you get judged. Mainly people judge here. Okay? They always judge here. This is where they start. Because they're a judge, right? They want to judge physicality. They didn't even look at the interior, okay, to see what was going on spirituality, to see if it was worth judging. Because what you're going to meet in spirituality is, of the internal human body, is that the internal body is microbiology, the entire system, the way it operates. It operates under microbiology, okay? And this is why they call yourself an organism, because what you start off as a seed, microbiology. You started off as microbiology, okay? I want you to understand that. And then you grew to physicality from the exterior appearance, not from because the interior has the same appearance, because it doesn't, okay? And that's because God has designed the bone structure, okay? His design of the bone structure will outlast the physicality, okay? It's spirituality because it was internal and it was being fed this. It's just that somehow this bone takes a lot longer to break down in the structure of decomposing, okay? When it comes to the time of decomposing of the physical body decomposes within a week. When it comes to the bone, it takes a millennium to multiple millenniums. And what you see when you see this bone structure is that the body temperature, okay, has to maintain 98.6. Anybody know how hot the sun is when it's summertime? We're talking about summertime heat, but every day, all day long, it's maintaining summer heat. And you're saying there's no God, is what your brilliant mind says, but it does not, it cannot go below the temperature of 90 degrees. Why? Because then it starts going to hypothermia. You're getting ready to be sick. You're in the winter time. This is when the winter time comes. This is why it's important that you must find shelter. Because the body temperature tells you you need to find shelter. Because you're at a core of hot all the time. You're summertime heat. Summertime all the time. Okay? And that's what you need to understand, is that you're at the summertime temperature every day. And then the next thing I want you to understand is that the eyes, it see colored light. What does that mean? It sees the same thing that the television sees. As the television is projecting a screen outwardly, we are projecting the same screen outwardly, but in color. The exact same thing. And not everybody has the opportunity to see it in color, but most people, I'd say about 90% of the world, is seeing the world at colored light. Okay, whether it's color blind, you're still seeing light. That's color. It's different. It's slightly tweaked a little bit because the wiring system is a little messed up on you. Okay? You have a wiring issue electrically. Okay? So you have an electrical misfire, most likely. And no one's been able to fix that. Okay? What is an electrical misfire? It's the same thing with my heart. It's starting in the improper place. Okay? It's like a wiring system, but somebody chewed on it, like a rat. But this time, it can't be, no one chewed on it. It's just that during the development stages, it didn't develop properly. Or during the stages of the first time it fired up the machine, the avatar, there was an error already. So then the error came apart, and then eventually over time you lost your sight, and when you went blind, and then you go blind as early as 7, very early stages. And it's because when the avatar fired up for the first time, it had a misfire. It had an error immediately. It was electrical misfire. So you have an electrical issue with the body, sending messages throughout the body, and it's not sending it properly. Then you will end up with an error somewhere eventually down the road where it could occur that your child's autistic or something, because the brain didn't develop properly, and then the electrical firing system won't fire properly. And what you get out of all this is audio. Okay, this is your recording device. This is what's going to record your memory. Okay, this is what creates memory, the audio. The eyes create memory as well, but the audio is the main one. The audio is the main one to the memory, because that's the internal voice. Okay, the internal voice is seeing into the world. If you can hear your internal voice, that's your spirit seeing into the world. Okay, I want you to understand that. That's the first time you have ever heard of this. It's because it's not the first time it's ever been spoken about on the earth. It's just the first time you've heard it in a very long time, somebody speak of it. But the internal voice is what's seeing into the world. That's why you have the internal voice going externally into the world. It's externally sending a picture out, allowing you to see the world the way it is. Okay? The next thing I want you to understand is joints. Okay? Joints is movement. Okay? And bending, twisting, flexing, all the different type of movements, vertical, horizontal, all the different movements you could have, which led up to mobility. Okay, give you mobility, gave you the ability to move around within the realm, giving you a movement speed. Okay, gave you a specific speed. You cannot go over this specific speed. And I think mankind is topped out around 14 to somewhere around 19 miles an hour. And that's at the fastest. When you're running, you're fastest. Okay, and I don't even know if it's 19 miles an hour. I'm just taking a wild guess on what was the fastest Olympic star on Juice to be seen running down the path. And I believe it was somewhere around like 18 or 19 miles an hour. So what do you get out of the external though? The exterior. What you get out of the exterior is what they call microfiber hairs. Okay, but it's coming from the interior. It's coming from the interior, which is spirituality. Okay, so these microfiber hairs you see all over your hair, these are microfiber hairs. Because when you take it down to the micro level, you actually see it as different property. It doesn't look the same. It actually has like little spikes and stuff on them. It has a different appearance. Okay, at the micro level. That's why it's called microfiber hairs, because at the micro level scale, it is totally different looking, okay? And why would I say this? Because the main organisms, the heart and the brain, are all spiritual, okay? It's all spiritual. First off, your brain is firing electrical signals, and your heart is too, okay? These are the two main organs that fire electrical signals throughout each other, to signal back and forth to each other to keep the body alive. I need oxygen, I need oxygen, I need blood, I need blood, I need blood, I need oxygen, I need oxygen, I need blood, I need blood, I need blood, I need water, I need water, I need water. I need heat, 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 heat. And it sends all these signals off, telling it what it needs, okay? It tells the body what it needs without you having to tell the body what it needs. And that's because you wouldn't know what it needs, because you haven't studied the interior body, the exterior body. And this is the human body, okay? This is what is created and designed to do. It's created and designed to live a millennium. 1,000 years. It's designed to live that long. And what you get out of 1,000 years is you would first have to have the bone strengthened again. The bone is weak. It's weakest that it's ever been. The bone is weak, okay, but it's not strong enough to live 1,000 years. Why? Because the bone will break. Okay, it's just the truth. The bone will break down to the point where you're going to need to be out of the body. So the bone isn't strong enough to maintain for a millennium right now. Because of because these main organisms are starting to fail at an early stage. Brain and the heart. Okay? These two right here, when not maintained at its highest capacity, will destroy the entire body. It will just break it down and just tell it it's time to go back to the earth. That's exactly what it'll do. It'll tell it, look, I can't keep doing it. The signal is not firing properly. And the signal will not fire properly. Eventually, the signal will not be able to... You'll have a wireless signal sending to another wireless router. Basically, it's a wireless signal sent to a wireless router. And it's being routed information throughout the body. Okay? The computer was designed off the physical structure of the body, okay? Not the external and the exterior. It was designed from the interior. Okay, everything that the interior is created: the television, the computer. We are the create. That's what gave us the creation to create it. Okay, because it was created off the physical structure of the body, because the body's created from everything that the earth is. So if everything that the earth is, then everything that's on the earth and will be created within the earth is made from the body. And that's why you have to understand this is the most important part, because God created us to create everything that's going to go in the earth with us. A bicycle. We need a bicycle because we need more faster mobility. We don't ride faster. We can't run fast enough. And it wears and tears on our legs. So then you can strengthen your joint locations, your meniscus location, right in the kneecap, which takes a lot of damage during the running stage. Okay, during the running stage, the jog stage you can handle, the walking stage you can handle, but the running stage it will wear and tear on that meniscus. Okay, it'll wear it down. And then you'll start to build up a fluid inside the kneecap. Okay? There's these microorganisms called antibodies. Okay? Antibodies are in the body, and they're designed to be like basically an antibiotic, or it goes against toxic. Anything that's toxin within the body. It wants to fight it. It wants to destroy it. And that's its job. Is to make sure that you maintain. That's how come I don't get sick, but every 2 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? When I had COVID, I caught COVID. I didn't even know. I was just a carrier. I walked around perfectly fine. Nothing happened. But when I took the injection, the shot, what occurred is I got immediately sick. Okay? Why? Because my body immediately had to fight an organ or a parasite, and it was under attack. Okay, so the interior was under attack spiritually. Okay, it was under attack spiritually, and you had to fight. Okay, you had to fight like with your spirit. You had to fight with your spirit in order to win that fight, because it's not the physicality that's going to win that fight. It's the spirit that's going to win that fight. That's how you defeat sickness. Okay, it's your spirit. That's what wins. Okay, that's why they say, when people are dying of cancer, if your spirit is strong, you can override the cancer. You can. But when your spirit is weak, you're surely going to pass out. I mean, you're going to pass and move past this life. Okay? And you're going to step outside of the physical body, the exterior. You're going to be looking at the exterior from you stepped out of the interior to see the exterior of yourself dead. Okay? And that's just what it looks like when you die. Okay, I've done it. I've experienced it. What occurs is you step out of your interior and you look at your exterior dead. And you're like, I'm dead now, boys. And that's because your spirituality has stepped out to look at the physicality of your life. Okay, and this is when you're going to be ran through what we call Scrooge. Okay, you ever watch Scrooge? past, present, and future. An angel comes to show up and tells you about your past, present, and future. Okay? And basically, it doesn't need to tell you about your future no more, but it will tell you about your future after he tells you about your past and your present. Okay? Because what he's going to tell you about the future is where you're going. Because you're going to be directed to either go up or down. Okay? But I feel as if you should be told why you were going to hell. And you should be showed the reels of all the bad things you've done in your life before you ever went there. That's what I feel like you should. And then you should see how you should see your parents. Then you see your brothers and your sisters, and see everybody who you hurt. All the people you hurt, your aunts, your uncles. Everybody who was hurt because of it. Not the people who wasn't hurt, because God doesn't care about that. He wants to show you all the people that you did hurt and what it did to them in their lives. And how it took them down off the wrong path. That they were supposed to be heading on this path, but since you messed up your life, now they're on this other path, and they followed a different path rather than the path that they were supposed to really be on. So you can ultimately have a position in another person's path. And that's why it's so serious down here when you break a law. Okay? Because you're not ultimately destroying yourself, you're destroying all creation around you. That's called external damnation, man. When you destroy everything, man, you're doomed to destroy it. Why? Because you're destructive. Internally, externally, and it will manifest itself all around you. Anything that is stepping inside of your electromagnetic field will be destroyed. You have a destroyer's electromagnetic field, which is a negative electromagnetic charge. Okay, so then you're going to be producing this charge, and when it strikes this positive electromagnetic charge, and it's going to create a light, which will manifest something out of it. What does it manifest? Maybe a murder. Okay? Where somebody innocent gets murdered. One night we just wake up in the middle of the night, we listen to this kill, kill, bang, bang music, and then all of a sudden we're down the street with a gun, in a car with a bunch of hoodlums, and we're getting ready to lay down some people. They didn't even see us coming. They're having, let's just say, the best day of their life. As far as the kids in the neighborhood, they were like, man, it's one of the most peaceful weeks we've had in a while. And then you come down there and blow it all up. And you light the whole scene up. And that's because you have an interior spirituality issue going on. Okay? And what it is, your heart and your brain are corrupted. It's corrupted. And that's because your eyes and your audios have seen nothing but destruction all your life. All this hate for one another. All this racism for one another. And all the bad stories you've had to hear. All the bad things in your life you had to witness through your eyes. And one moment you couldn't take it anymore, man. So you became a vigilante. Okay, a villain. You became a villain against yourself. And you ultimately destroyed yourself. Just as I have. I am a character that destroyed myself. But it was implemented through characters around me that were destroying their lives. That put their destroying behaviors on me. And then I started to destroy myself internally, externally. To go along with them. To follow them. And this is the sin that is in the body. Thank you.